Have you ever wondered what would happen if you found yourself in a free-falling elevator, or perhaps trapped in a sinking car? Accidents can happen at a moment's notice, so it is important to always be prepared for anything life throws at you. Being forcibly shoved into the boot of a car is sadly a deadly situation many find themselves in throughout the world. Being locked inside the trunk of a car may seem like a helpless situation with no chance of exit, but it is possible to escape. Vehicles made in the USA after 2012 have a trunk release lever. It's usually a glow-in-the-dark handle. But what do you do if the car you are trapped in doesn't have an emergency release cord, switch, or button? There are a number of ways to escape a locked trunk. One possible exit is through the back seat. There may be a release for the back seat in the trunk. If not, then kick or pry the seats down, then climb out. However, this is a very dangerous exit method as your captor will easily see you, leaving you exposed to an attack. Many cars will have a trunk release cable. If you pull up the carpet of the trunk, you should find a cable, typically found on the driver's side of the car. Once found, yank the cable toward you or the side to open the trunk. Another method is to push out the brake lights. Pull a panel off to get to the lights, then rip the wires out. Next, push or kick the lights so they fall off. Try to get a motorist's attention by sticking out your hand and waving. Most car trunks will have tools inside such as a jack. If so, crank the jack until the trunk pops open. Shark attacks are very rare. In fact, you are more likely to die from being struck by lightning, cows, and even a vending machine. When they say too much candy can be harmful, they weren't kidding. Sharks tend to have a bad rep due to films like Jaws and The Shallows, but they are in fact curious creatures. They use their mouths to find out what type of animal we are. But when a shark attack does occur, they are usually severe and fatal. If you find yourself confronted by a shark while swimming in the ocean, do not turn your back to it. Maintain eye contact. These beasts will naturally try to sneak up and attack from behind. As Michael Phelps has proven, you cannot outswim a shark, so do not make any sudden movements. Without turning your back toward the shark, carefully make your way toward the shore or boat. If the shark comes too close or intends to attack, then you need to fight back. Playing dead won't help. Punch, kick, or claw at its snout, gills, or eyes. These are areas where the creature is most vulnerable. If you have a weapon such as a dive knife, spear gun, or rock, then use it to defend yourself. Even if the shark swims away, you are not in safe water, pun intended, until you are completely out of the water. If bitten, seek medical attention immediately. Even if the wound appears minor, your biggest threat now is infection and blood loss. The thought of being trapped inside a confined metal tomb that is plummeting to Earth is a terrifying notion. But despite the very rare probability that this will ever happen to you, it is good to know what to do if this situation ever was to happen to you. Some may think that the best way to survive a free-falling elevator is to jump at the last second before it hits the floor, but this will instead cause you serious harm and most likely your death. Instead, lie on the floor facing the ceiling. Place one arm behind your head to act as a cushion. This will help soften the impact when the elevator hits the bottom. Next, cross your other arm over your face to protect from any falling debris. Keep both arms held in this position and brace yourself for impact. Winter is coming. When winter falls and the lakes and rivers freeze, it's very common for people to walk and play on the ice. But what if it starts to crack and gives way, plunging you deep into icy water? You will have at best 10 minutes before your muscles give up from the biting cold. Firstly, try to stay calm and do not panic. Control your breathing so you do not exhaust yourself. Do not attempt to remove any of your clothes. The air in your clothes will keep you afloat, acting like a rudimentary buoy. Try to exit out of the water the exact same way you went in. Place your arms directly out onto the hard ice. Stretch out your torso and put your weight on your elbows in the palms of your hands. Once you're out of the water, spread yourself over the ice. This will help you to distribute your weight evenly, as to not crack the ice. Now carefully roll or crawl to the shore. Finally, seek somewhere warm immediately, and get dry. The ocean is beautiful as it is deadly, and it can be very easy to get dragged out to sea when there is a storm. A riptide, or current, is a strong, narrow current that flow away from the beach. These are extremely dangerous, and hundreds of people die every year when caught in one. If you find yourself trapped in a riptide, your natural instincts will tell you to desperately swim against the tide, but you will only exhaust yourself and cause you to get dragged right back into the sea. Exhaustion is the main cause of drownings. Instead, try to remain calm so you do not exert yourself. Identify which direction the current is moving, and swim to the left or right of it, parallel to the shore. Car accidents are very common, and you most likely know someone who was involved in one at some time in their lives. However, what do you do if you find yourself plunging into a river or lake and are trapped inside a sinking car? Open your vehicle window as soon as you can and climb out. However, there have been many instances where trapped drivers are unable to open a window. The car may have got too heavily damaged or the controls are simply not working. In this instance, it is important to have a heavy object in the car. A fire extinguisher, steering wheel lock, or hammer would work in this situation. Use this heavy object to smash the window and escape. Just be aware of sharp glass when you exit the vehicle. In fact, you can now buy emergency tools that are specifically made to break car glass. You may never need one, but it's better to keep one in your car just in case. Once out of the car, it can be very easy to find yourself disoriented, and you may not be able to know which way is up or down. All you have to do is follow the rising air bubbles to the surface. If you find yourself alone and confronted by an attacker, you most likely won't have any weapon to defend yourself with. But one thing that most everyone will have on them is a set of keys. A common piece of advice you may receive is to hold your keys between your fingers, similar to a sharp knuckle duster or makeshift Wolverine claws. However, doing this may cause as much, if not more, damage to yourself as with the target. This makeshift weapon technique also requires time to arrange the keys correctly, time you may not have the luxury of. Instead, it would be more effective to either hold one of the keys like a knife, holding it between your thumb and forefinger while the rest of your keys are closed in your hand, or grip your keys in your hand and make a fist. There are 3 very important rules to remember if you are ever in a life or death situation. The first rule is that the average human can survive 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter in extreme weather conditions, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Many people can find themselves in a place and time they didn't expect. Getting lost while hiking is a common situation, so it may be vital to be aware of these simple rules. If you are stranded in a location with torrential rain, wind, or snow, then seek shelter immediately, either by building your own or finding somewhere sheltered and dry. Your next priority is you find water. Collecting rainwater or finding a clean river or stream is vital to staying alive. Flying is considered the safest way to travel. However, plane accidents still do occur on the rare occasion. So if you happen to be one of the unlucky ones caught in a falling plane, this one tip may save your life. When involved in an aircraft accident, it is very easy to panic and throw the life vest on and instantly inflate it. But do not do this. In emergency water landings, you will have to put on your life vest, but do not pull the lever to instantly inflate it just yet. In a rapidly submerging aircraft, an inflated life vest will only cause you to float to the ceiling. This of course makes it very difficult to move toward the exit escape without assistance. Only when you are outside of the plane should you pull the inflation cord. We would recommend you stay away from any wild snake. However, it may be helpful to be able to recognize whether you've encountered a venomous species. There are a few traits of venomous species of snakes to watch out for. The underside of the tail is covered with non-bifurcated scales. Its pupils are narrower, similar to those of a cat. Non-dangerous snakes tend to have round pupils. Triangular heads are another commonality in most venomous snakes. Pit vipers, America's most common venomous types of snakes, have heat-sensing pits beneath their eyes. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, and only an expert can really confirm whether a snake is dangerous or not. But in the majority of cases, these rules are a good guide. In the event that you have been bitten by a venomous snake, despite what movies have told you otherwise, do not attempt to suck out the venom. Doing this can actually exacerbate the problem by increasing the risk of infection. Instead of asking your friend to suck out the poison, seek medical attention immediately. If you can, try to identify the snake that bit you. Keep calm and wash the wound with warm water and soap. You can also disinfect the area with rubbing alcohol. We hope you found these survival tips helpful, but we also hope that you will never have to use them. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell icon to keep up to date with all of our latest videos. Thanks for watching.